Yeah, Marsha Thompson's attorneys have had to overcome her being a law enforcement officer. That was a difficult thing, I think, to overcome. We'll see what the jury believes, but to say that this law enforcement officer who has all of these resources, has a weapon at all times, has all of this training, didn't feel like there were any other options rather than to shoot her husband while he was on the couch lying down. So you bring up a good point about the former ballerina aspect for Ashley Benefield, that it may not automatically mean that they're going to look at her as someone who is helpless, but they may say, look, you seem that you should have had options. It's interesting analysis, and every juror is different. I want to go back to a piece of evidence that actually was disputed. The state didn't want this 911 call to come in because they said it was essentially a self-serving statement, that it was something where the neighbor is repeating what Ashley Benefield told him when she rushed over to his house and explained what had happened, what she had done. But let's listen back to that 911 call and talk about the judge's decision on it.
So they were in an argument?
I don't know. She came in. She was quite hysterical. I didn't know who was banging on my door. Said that he attacked her, and she shot him. They've been having trouble.
Okay. I'm just getting that all on the screen, okay?
Okay. Calm down. I know.
Okay.
It's not what people think it. It's not what people think it is. I know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Where is the gun? Is it with her, or is it just?
I have it right here, ma'am. It's sitting on the floor inside the door. My door's locked, so in case he isn't, he can't get up. I'm also armed if he does come over and try to harm her, just so everybody knows.
Okay.
I'm kind of concerned with her mother, and the little girl might get back there and find this, whatever happened.
The deputies are running as fast as they can, okay?
Okay, I hope so. I've been worried about them for so long.
Okay. Have they been having issues recently?
Beg your pardon?
They've been having issues recently?
I'm not too sure how long. I'm not sure.
So the neighbor there relaying this fear and showing that he's going to protect her because she's in this vulnerable situation. That can be powerful. Michael Jaafar and the judge did, over the objection of the state, say that it is coming in. So the state said, well, we're going to bring it in our case in chief. Who do you think should bring it out first in their opening statement, if that's allowed?
I think we've seen many. I've always given the analogy, when I'd get a bad report card as a kid, I'd call my dad when he was at his office and tell him about it because he'd had 5-6 hours to stew on it. So I've always given that analogy. The state has to bring it out. They had to file their motion objecting for the evidence to be introduced, but this is clearly should have been introduced. This is absolutely a known hearsay to the exception rule. 100% that was going to be admitted. I mean, for many, this passes at least no less than 3 exceptions to the hearsay exception. So I think the state has to bring it out because primacy and recency, right? You don't want to end the trial. You don't want the last, because this will be the last thing that the defense, if the prosecution doesn't bring it in, this will be the last thing that the defense will bring in, kind of as like a, kind of like a mic drop moment, right? So the prosecution has to bring it out. The only problem with them bringing it out is they'd be bringing it in under direct examination. They cannot ask leading questions. They cannot cross-examine, obviously, because they're bringing it out. But it would be, I think, if I was on the state side, I would definitely bring it out. But yeah, this is going to be helpful information for her, no doubt.